Hi, everybody. This is Glenn Ackerman with Energy Awareness Training, coming to you on a beautiful summer evening. Wanted to be with you tonight. This is my normal, regular class, weekly class I do on principles of energy awareness, and energy awareness training. And every week, I do a broadcast to share different insights, different concepts, and different knowledge about how being energy aware, how understanding principles of energy, particularly what I teach in energy awareness training, can bring a profound difference in your life, can make some real changes, and can add some quality and add some depth that you may not be able to access in other areas of your life. So I want to do the same tonight, talking about energy awareness. Now, for those people who are new to my broadcast and new to my work, let me just give you the 1 minute description about what I'm talking about when I'm mentioning energy. And we've all heard that people say that, or professors in high school and college say everything's energy, right? And that term is kicked about all over the place where you hear energy in terms of oil or gas or solar panels. That's one way of talking about energy. Another way of talking about energy is the new wave, new age. Oh, your energy is really cool, or crystals or fairies walking around. What I want to talk about, those are two extremes from one to the other. I want to talk about real stuff, real knowledge, which is the energy, which is another way of saying our lives, because our lives are energy. Everything that we're dealing with in this experience on this planet that we call life is energy. And what's cool about the work that I teach and the training I give, and why so many students all over the world now are studying energy awareness training and getting profound results, is that when you look at energy the way that I describe it, you open up a hidden dimension, a deeper reality of the way things work in this world that we were never taught in school. And as a result of that, it adds to the quality and the dimensions of life. In other words, it makes you happier. It gives you more meaning. It gives you a way to be able to deal with all of the things that are thrown at us in this world. Because whatever it is, it's all energy. Good, bad, or ugly, it's all energy. And when you have an awareness of what's happening and you're able to see things clearly, in other words, to shine a light on the darkness, or the mysteries of, scratch your head, why this happening? Why this happening? And more importantly, how do I deal with the energy inside me? And what's the energy inside you? Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your behaviors, your motivations, the stuff that you tell yourself. All of that is energy. So in energy awareness, one of the most important things that I share with people, and I want to share with you tonight, is the understanding that we live in a world of duality, that there's always two things happening in the world. And it might seem obvious, but it's really not. I mean, the concept was never really taught to us. It wasn't taught to me anyway, that, hey, if you got an up, you got a down. If you got a right, you got a wrong, right? If you've got an in, you got an out. If you got a male, you got a female. In other words, all of our experience involves two sides of everything that we're dealing with. And that's so important as we're navigating ourselves through this life. Because every day, aren't we trying to figure out, how does this deal work? How can I be happy today? How can I overcome the challenges that I'm dealing with? And challenges are being thrown to us furiously these days. And the thing that I want to talk about tonight is how to deal with that, or at least give you some clues and some tips that I teach my students, and that the training is all about. Because energy awareness training is a training on how to deal with all of the things in life that are coming our way, that we're involved with, that we're dealing with, and to look at it from an energetic perspective. Because I found when you look at things as at an energetic perspective, you have a whole new way of understanding, of perceiving. You're able to, it's like you have an x-ray vision to be able to go, whoa. You're able to see things that you hadn't seen before if you're not energetically aware. That's why, all of us are trying to figure out, how does this thing work here, this thing called life? How does it work? Why are things happening? And when I mention the world of duality in dealing with this, it's like we got to deal with the day, we got to deal with the night, right? We're awake and then we're asleep, right? We're hungry and then we're fulfilled. So much of life is going from one side to the other. And it seems so obvious when you bring it up, but we're not aware of that so much of the time. It just seems to go unconsciously. But that's also important when we're trying to deal with our thoughts and our feelings, and especially trying to deal with the stuff that's taking place right now. Nikolai Tesla said, if you really want to understand the mysteries of how this life works, and isn't so much of life a mystery? Why do things happen? How come our lives are going one way when we want them to go the other? Or how come when we had plans to do one thing, something else comes up? There's so much uncertainty that we're dealing with in life. Well, Nikolai Tesla, probably one of the greatest scientists and minds, ever to appear on the planet, said, look, if you want to really understand how things work and the mysteries of life, then you'll start to look at things in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay, you may have heard that quote. If you haven't, it's profound. And that was something that spurred me on to go deeper and to understand this mystery we call life from an energetic aspect. Because when our professor says that everything that we're dealing with is energy, isn't that true? I mean, our bodies are pure energy. The air is energy. The trees are energy. The table that you're watching this on, you got your computer, your phone on, it's all energy. Now, that's some vague concept of everything's energy. But when you connect the dots, like Tesla mentioned, then it starts to get interesting. Then you start to recognize, there's a rhyme and reason of why things are happening. Right? So anyway, we got a lot of people coming on. So give me a shout out if you would, if you're looking at me on Facebook or if you're on Instagram. Let me know where you're from and if this is making sense to you as we go deeper tonight in the energetic aspects of life. And today's lesson is going to be dealing with uncertainty. That's what we're going to be talking about. That. Do you have any uncertainty in your life? Right? Do you have anything and you're not sure how things are going to go? It could go this way, it could go that way. Do you have some uncertainty of why are things happening? And how did you scratch your head? How did I get into this situation? Here we are, in the summer of 2020, in the summer, you probably had plans to go on vacation or go here or go to do this and do this. And all of a sudden life, took you to a whole different place. How'd that happen? Why did it happen? And how do I deal with it? Now, remember I mentioned the law of duality. We're always dealing with two opposite forces. So tonight, I want to just give you a heads up and maybe just give you a little comfort and a little encouragement if you're dealing with some internal stress. Anybody out there dealing with any internal stress? Kind of like, hey, what's happening? Why are these, what's with this virus thing and the quarantine? And is it safe to go to work? And people are unemployed. And, what's my next move, etc. There's a lot of uncertainty going on out there. Not to mention, a lot of loneliness out there. It's like you can't go and see your friends. You can't go out social, and those of you who are single, you can't really date. Or at least see somebody physically without taking a chance. Those of you who are in relationships, you're fortunate, but there's a lot of things are up in the air out there, and that includes the way we feel internally. So, with the point that I'm making about the duality, I just want you to recognize that you have an external life and you have an internal life. And we've been basically taught on how to deal with the externals, right? We were taught from our parents how to take care of ourselves, and how to dress ourselves, and how to eat and how to go to the bath, all the basic stuff, right? And then we become adults, and we learn how to take care of ourselves. We learn how to earn money, and you know clothe ourselves and work, and all the physical stuff. But being energetically aware means that you're aware not only of the physical stuff, but you're aware of the non-physical stuff. You're aware not just of your outer life, but of your inner life. And if you think about it, it's really the inner life that gives you the quality of your life. It's really the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about your life, the way you feel about how things are going, right? The way you feel about your ability to reach your goals, and basically just to be happy in your own skin. That's your inner life. And we see so many people who have great outer lives. It seems that they have things handled in the physical outer life, either making the money you want, or having the career you want, or seemingly the relationship you want, and yet they're not happy. They're not happy internally. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, your internal happiness, because that's where the quality of life really happens. And this is what it means to be energetically aware. Because a lot of times, you may be sitting at home, and you got a great pad. You got your space, whether it's your house, your apartment, and you got your TV and your computers, and you got a nice place, and yet you're sitting in this place and you're going, wow, you know, can't go out, or got to wear the mask, or you turn on the news, and a lot of negativity out there, a lot of unrest, a lot of political stuff taking place, lots of health stuff coming, and you hear about all this different news, and internally it kind of makes you feel kind of yucky, doesn't it? So you're trying to be positive, but there's these forces inside you that are creating confusion, maybe confusing unrest, maybe a little bit of anxiety and fear. Well, you know what? I want to tell you, if you got that going on, you're normal. Okay, that's normal, because we're in an upsetting time now. We're in a time where a lot of things are up in the air. That's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight, about the ability to be energetically aware and to know what's happening to you. Because there's a way, if you're energetically trained, or you understand how the energies work, that you can have peace right here and right now. That no matter what's happening, good, bad, or ugly out there, that right here and right now, it can be okay. You can be at peace. And that it's okay to have these thoughts of, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week. Because in my training, one of the things that I do is I have you observe your thought processes. I don't know if you've ever done this. Most of the time we have a thought, we think, well, that thought's me. I have a thought, I'm thirsty. Okay, I am thirsty. So I have something to drink, or I'm tired, or so we have a part of our processes, our thought processes, that direct us, that we think, okay, I'm speaking for me. I'm this, I'm tired, or I want to go out, or I want to go in, or I want to change my clothes, or So that's one way that we're dealing with our lives. And I call it situation outcome thinking, SOT. If you're taking notes, situational outcome thinking. That means we have a thought and we know what to do about it, right? You're hungry, you go to the refrigerator and see what you got. You know, there's nothing in the refrigerator, you got to go to the store. So in other words, you know how to figure stuff out. It's like pulling up a file. Okay, well here's the file of I'm gonna make an omelet. So in your file, you go, okay, great. I need a pan, need to turn on the stove, need the eggs and a spatula, and here I go. So you already know how to do that. But when it comes to stuff like, wow, what's going to happen with all this chaos going on? And am I going to be okay? Are the people I love going to be okay? Am I going to have a job? What's the economy going to be okay? Is the COVID thing going to get better? Is it going to get worse? You don't know the answer to those questions. So when we don't know the answer to these questions, we move into a place called uncertainty. We don't know. And virtually half of our life is dealing with uncertainty. When you're dealing with the future, when you're dealing with tomorrow, when you're dealing with later on tonight or next week. So what happens is we have a process. We have two energies that are competing for our attention. We have the energies, the healthy energies, which I call high vibration energy, that are healthy energies, that are positive energies, that are energies that make you feel good about yourself, about your life, about other people. And we have the other energies, the unhealthy energies, the dark energies, what I call the low vibration energies. And those energies want to make you feel bad. They want to make you feel scared. They want to make you go negative on your life and about how things are working. Now, these are energies and that are constantly around us, and they influence us. And we're pretty much not aware of the processes. We just know if we have a thought that feels good versus a thought that doesn't feel good. Now, one of the whole reasons that I created energy awareness training was because so many of my thoughts and emotions were on the dark side. We're in a place of anxiety, of fear, of worry, of the future. Now, when I think about tomorrow, what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen in the fall? We don't know. There's uncertainty there. But unless we're aware of our thoughts and how energies work, if we just go, oh, I wonder what's going to happen, the unhealthy energies will just want to creep in and take hold and say, oh, it's going to be bad. Oh, could be, and have you think of the worst thing that can happen. What you might lose this or you might lose that, or bad things can happen. Now, if you're not energetically aware, that happens automatically. That just goes in. You don't have to. You can just be enjoying your night and having a good time, and all of a sudden you get these thoughts of worry about this, worry about that, and all of a sudden the thoughts awaken a feeling, which awaken an emotion, which is, if they're dark energies, it's fear. It's the stuff you don't like, which starts to have a reaction in your body. And this is what it means to be energetically aware. Now, for so many of us, myself included, when that would happen, it would be automatic. It would just think, well, thinking of the fall, or you're thinking about next week, and you go, man, I hope this doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that, right? And I'm either in one of two energies. I'm in the energy of fear and anxiety and stress, which is familiar to so many of us, which is our natural default energy. Or we move into a place of high vibrational energy, which is an energies of confidence, a confidence of power, a confidence of certainty, of choosing healthy, happy, positive emotions. Now, The key thing in energy awareness is to recognize that just because you have a thought, you don't have to go there. So if I have a thought or a feeling that says, whoa, it could be bad, or what if bad things happen? What if I lose this? What? That's a thought that wants to lead me into an emotion, into a feeling to kind of take over my feelings, my internal structure, right? And so many of the times we allow that to take place. Well, what I just want to let you know tonight, and this is a part of what I teach in energy awareness training, is to be aware of the thoughts and the energies that want to lead you to certain places. And you can take charge of the way you think, of the way you feel, of your emotions. Now, for many years, I didn't know you could do that. So I thought, well, if I have a thought of anxiety or stress, I guess I got to go there. I guess I got to, if I'm thinking about what's going to happen in the fall, if I'm worried, I guess I got to go to the worry zone. I didn't know that those are just energies and that all of us have full control over the energies that we are associated or that we connect to. It's just that nobody ever taught us. And I was saying, uh, you might have heard people say, well, you just think positive. I got to think positive. No, I'm not talking about positive thinking, folks. You've already tried that. How's that working for you? Because the minute you have a negative thought and you try to make it a positive thought, it says it's going to be bad. You go, no, it's going to be good. No, it's going to be bad. No, it's going to be good. It's kind of like your head's a ping pong ball, right? And you're kind of playing thought ping pong. I'm talking about the ability to connect to an energy, to a force, to a frequency that's either moving up or it's moving down. Now, so many of the frequencies, if we're not aware, want to move us down. So, what I want you to be aware of is that uncertainty can be certainty if you're aligned with the high vibration energy part of you. So when people say, what's going to happen next month or in the fall or in the winter, if you feel a tug of fear or worry or doubt, that's an energy. And that's an energy that you can dispel. And you can replace it with the energy, not just the thought. A thought's important, but the thought and the emotion and the feeling of being energetically aware, which is, since you don't know how it's going to go anyway, why don't I choose, first of all, why don't I take a breath? And taking a breath can reboot your thought processes. So if I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what if this, what if that? Wait a minute. Let's take a breath. Send some nice fresh oxygen to my body. Maybe take another one. And ask myself high vibration energy questions instead of the low vibration energy questions like, what if it's bad? What if it doesn't work out? What if I lose anything? It's low vibration. Let's take a breath. Let's get into my body so I'm not completely into my head, and ask, hey, what if things clear up soon? What if new opportunities come my way? What if this becomes an incredible year for me? What if new things open up and new opportunities present themselves? How cool will that be? I think that's the vibe I want to move into. I think if I'm going to think about tomorrow or next month or the fall or the season, I think I want to be in the vibe of opportunity, of moving up, of moving out, of expansion, which is what I call high vibration energy. Yeah, doesn't that feel better? And just that little tweak, that it's like a gear shift in your internal structure to move from, oh no, to what if it all works out? Because you know what? If you look in your life and you look at the different times in your life when you were worried about stuff and you had oh no, what if this? You got through it, didn't you? The most challenging or the most stressful times in your life where maybe you were thinking, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one, or it looks like doom and gloom, you know, whether you did what I'm suggesting you do tonight or whether you went kicking and screaming, it all worked out. And it usually always does. So your energy awareness tip for tonight is to move into uncertainty with certainty, because all you know about tomorrow or next month or next season, that it's going to come. How it comes in your internal structure is based upon your energy and the vibe that you're in. Now, some people are naturally in a low vibration energy or in a low unhealthy energy. I'm always worried. Oh my gosh, what could and if the thing they worry about doesn't come to pass, then they'll worry about something else. And you know people like that. A lot of our mothers were that way. They just go from one worry to the other like this. Well, that's no way to live. And if you do that, that's going to create unhealthy chemicals in your body that's going to lower your immune system. So I want to encourage you to move into possibility and to keep your, instead, you notice when people are depressed, they're kind of like, oh, their heads are down. Keep your head up. Keep your spine straight. Be in your body. Take a breath. And ask yourself, what if it works out? What if new opportunities come my way? What if it all is going to be good? And then feel it. Don't just think it, feel it. Because you already know how to scare yourself, right? You're well learned at how to scare yourself, how to watch the horror movies, the sneak previews of horror movies, and you're, hey, let's turn it around. Let's move through whatever you're dealing with courage. One moment at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, and just make a decision. You know what? I'm going to move forward. Yeah, I got things I'm dealing with, but I'm going to move forward 1 hour, 1 day at a time, moving in a high vibrational energy, making a decision to ask myself, what if it all works out? What if I'm protected? What if this is just an opportunity in disguise? Because you know what? Between you and me, it is. And some people are having fantastic years. Many of us are having wonderful years. Now, it's not the way we thought it was going to be, right? So sometimes you got to roll with the punches a little bit. But if you let go of the outcome of the way it's supposed to be, and you let it be what it is, and stay in a high vibratory energy, you're going to be able to move through and make it easier on yourself. And internally, keep the lights on instead of the other way around. Okay, that's my message for y'all today. If you want more information, if you're on Facebook, you can messenger me. I have a Facebook group. I have a YouTube channel that you guys can check me out. I've got over 100 videos on there. Appreciate you subscribing on there if you want to hear the latest videos. And let's just keep the word out to the world. Let's keep some high vibration, some positive energy out in the world, right? That through whatever's going on, we're going to get through it. We're going to use courage. We're going to use strength. We're going to think in terms of having certainty in uncertain times. And if you do that, I promise you, it's all going to work out. And you're going to be glad that you went through it. Okay, I'm going to just check the feed here. Got some cool people. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Geneva. Hey, you guys. And Gino and my friends on Instagram. Great. Glad that you guys are here. And if you guys got any questions or anything you want to ask me, just go ahead and write it down. And I'll be happy to answer them in future broadcasts. And with that, I'm going to bid you a great night and say, remember just one thing. Nothing changes until energy moves. So be in a high vibration, happy, positive energy. At least if you're going to have to choose between uncertainty and certainty, choose certainty. it feels a lot better. All right, everyone, have a great night and a great week. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.